And when I heard there's a giant hole in the ground near the middle of Nevada, well, I had no choice but to come out here and see it for myself.
Deep in the remote hills of eastern Washington sits a strange pit that locals say never fills, no matter what is thrown inside. For decades, the so-called bottomless well has sparked fear, rumors, and unanswered questions. Even animals seem to avoid it, adding to the mystery. But when explorers finally sent a drone into the darkness, the footage revealed something far more disturbing than an ordinary hole. What lies below may be more than nature's work. The mystery of an endless pit. Mel's Hole is not your ordinary geological feature. Located in the hills near Ellensburg, Washington, it is a 9-foot wide circular gap in the ground, surrounded by a stone wall that descends about 15 feet before vanishing into pitch-black darkness. What sets this hole apart is not just its appearance, but its baffling behavior. Over the years, neighbors and Mel Waters, the property owner, abused it as a dumping site for everything from household rubbish to broken machinery and car tires. Yet, no matter how much they threw in, the hole never filled up. It seemed to defy the basic laws of physics, swallowing endless items without any sign of a bottom. Even more puzzling was the strange silence that surrounded the pit. When objects were dropped into it, there were no echoes or sounds of impact, as one would expect. This absence of noise deepened the unsettling feeling that something unusual lurked beneath the surface. The wildlife around the hole behaved oddly as well. Mel noticed that his dogs refused to approach it, pulling back and digging their paws into the ground, clearly sensing some invisible threat. Birds and insects disappeared from the area, creating an eerie stillness broken only by the rustle of the wind. Radios and electronic devices also seemed affected near the hole. Mel reportedly heard bizarre and unexplainable signals on his radio, with some frequencies picking up stations that no longer existed or sounds from decades past. At times, the radio would even play a baseball game broadcast from 1967, as if the hole bent not only space but time itself. These strange electromagnetic effects added an unnatural layer to the pit's mystery, complicating efforts to understand what it truly was. Efforts to determine the actual depth of the hole only deepened the enigma. Using a fishing line weighted with a 1-pound sinker, Mel lowered it into the abyss, unspooling over 4,500 feet without the weight reaching the bottom. Undeterred, he switched to a lighter test, dropping Lifesavers candy down the hole to check for moisture or water at the base. When he reeled them back up, the candies were bone dry, another baffling detail contradicting normal geological expectations. As curiosity grew, Mel extended the fishing line further, reaching nearly 10,000 feet in length, about 2 miles, yet still without contact with the bottom. Attempts to measure depth with lasers and radar were suggested by listeners of a famous radio show Mel contacted.
In that category of having a religious thing, this was just such a stunning thing to witness.
But the hole remained endlessly deep and silent. This unyielding void became a kind of black hole of mystery itself, drawing in the imagination of locals and researchers alike. The hole's persistent secrecy set the stage for more extraordinary claims and strange occurrences in the years that followed. Among these tales was a chilling report from a neighbor who had lost his dog and, in grief, had tossed the canine's body into the hole. Days later, the same dog appeared alive in the nearby woods, wearing its collar but acting disoriented and unfamiliar with its owner. An unsettling story that blurred the lines between this world and something beyond. Such accounts fueled rumors that Mel's Hole might be a portal or gateway to an unknown dimension, where the usual rules do not apply. Though many dismissed the hole as local legend or exaggeration, the growing body of strange and contradictory evidence kept people intrigued. What was hiding within the depths? Was it merely a natural oddity, or something far more sinister and paranormal? The answer remained just out of reach, buried in darkness and silence. This profound mystery compelled Mel to seek help beyond his immediate community. reaching out to a wider audience to make sense of what he was experiencing. Mel Waters and early discoveries. The local resident, Mel Waters, who enjoys fishing, worked together with others to reveal the secret of the pit. His curiosity about the pit began with his attempts to find out its actual depth. Mel used his scientific investigation skills to test the hole's capacity after he found out that the hole could consume waste materials without reaching its maximum capacity. The actual story of the event existed in his continuous work, which showed real events in the world, while false stories spread about it. Mel used depth measurement techniques to discover unusual activities which occurred close to the hole. His dogs developed extreme irrational fears, which prevented them from approaching the opening because they seemed to detect an invisible threat. The neighbors' dogs exhibited similar behavior, which showed that various instincts controlled their actions. The environment showed impact because birds and bugs disappeared from the area, which created a complete silence across the region. The hole developed a supernatural quality through Mel's experiences, which made it seem like a living entity. The radio equipment used by Mel contained one of its most mysterious features. He detected static signals and unauthorized transmissions, which showed he could receive broadcasts from inactive radio stations. The radio system played both music and sports broadcasts which emerged from past decades and showed unknown scientific possibilities that defied present understanding. The phenomenon suggested that the hole could control electromagnetic waves together with time itself, which created an atmosphere filled with supernatural mystery. The returning lost dog story from the neighbor's house added to the development of the paranormal story. The tale provided evidence that the hole functioned as a gateway to either alternate dimensions or distorted realities which people believed to be true. The story led many listeners to believe that Mel's hole functioned as a mysterious earth formation which created access to something that humans could not understand. Mel reached a wider audience in 1997 when he appeared on Coast to Coast AM, which Art Bell hosted on his late-night radio program.
But to get into this, some guy in 1997 called into a radio show called Coast to Coast.
The show operated as the perfect platform to present Mel's story because it specialized in investigating strange phenomena and haunted mysteries. Through Art Bell's program, listeners from around the world heard Mel's accounts and eagerly shared suggestions, advice, and theories. The interaction with others about his story helped him reach people who lived beyond the peaceful hills of Washington. Mel's ongoing communications kept the mystery alive for years, even as new doubts and complications emerged. His initial, earnest quest to understand the hole gradually evolved into a complex narrative involving secrecy and strange events that no one could easily ignore. Government intervention and secrecy. The sudden appearance of military forces around Mel's property added a new, ominous layer to the story. Not long after Mel shared his tale publicly on Coast to Coast AM, helicopters began buzzing over his land continuously, and armed personnel blocked access to the area.
Maybe my audience is not aware, but a television crew went up to Ellensburg after we did the last.
The government's swift takeover suggested that something significant was happening at the site, raising questions about what secrets Mel's hole might conceal. Official explanations, like investigations for an alleged airplane crash, offered no clear evidence, adding to the atmosphere of suspicion. Mel's attempts to return to his land were repeatedly denied, and those guarding the area hinted that he might no longer legally own it. Threatening comments were made, implying that if Mel caused trouble, officials could uncover fabricated legal violations against him. Despite these pressures, Mel remained determined to expose the story and planned further public disclosures on radio and to the press. Yet the government's covert control effectively silenced any easy access or verification by outsiders. This restriction coincided with escalating accounts of unusual phenomena in the area. Mel described how plants around the hole flourished unusually while animals avoided the site. The disrupted radio signals grew more intense, and reports emerged of bizarre lights and dark beams shooting upward from the hole, visible even piercing through cloud cover. These events intensified the impression that the hole was linked to forces or technologies beyond normal understanding. Efforts to find the hole during this time resulted in contradictory reports. A television crew searching for the pit found no trace of it, but uncovered military documents and evidence of large-scale activity in the region. Meanwhile, maps and satellite images circulated showing a mysterious blacked-out square over the area that defied normal observation, deepening speculation about classified operations. Some believed the military was hiding the hole's true nature, or even erasing it from public record. Mel's increasing troubles extended beyond government interference.
His land was seized by the US government and he was forced to take a payout.
After quitting public appearances for a period, he returned to reveal offers of huge sums of money, millions per year, in exchange for exclusive land use, with harsh conditions including permanent relocation and silence. Although he accepted the deal temporarily and moved to Australia, Mel ultimately defied the restrictions, sneaking back to reconnect with family and continue his quest. The tightening grip around the hole, combined with strange electrical disturbances and erratic government behavior, painted a picture of an enigmatic site too dangerous or important for the public to access freely. It became clear that Mel's Hole was not just a local mystery. It was a subject of deeper powers and secret agendas. Such developments left many wondering what truth lay buried beneath the surface, beyond military fences and official statements, igniting an intense desire to uncover the hole's secrets despite growing risks. The shadows surrounding the hole only thickened as the exploration expanded farther from Washington, leading to connections with other mysterious locations and unusual discoveries. The Nevada Connection, another bottomless hole. The Native American tribe from Nevada, who had their own mysterious bottomless pit, invited Mel to their territory after the intense events which occurred surrounding Mel's Hole. The hole exhibited two strange characteristics, which matched Mel's Hole because it appeared to have never-ending depth and emitted peculiar energies. The Basque people needed Mel's help because they thought his life experiences would assist them in understanding their investigations of the mysterious chasm. The new exploration results produced additional mysterious elements which already existed in the complex story. The Nevada Hole, which opened in a public space where Basque people established their settlement hundreds of years ago, showed dimensions which matched Mel's Hole because it measured approximately 9 feet across. The pit used a complete depth metal ring which extended around its entire perimeter, while Mel's Hole used a stone wall as its boundary. Mel observed that when a tool hit the metal ring by chance, the impact created no sound because it seemed to vanish into an invisible space. The void which existed behind protective layers of silence appeared to violate fundamental principles of physical reality. The Basque people and Mel conducted multiple experiments which helped them to study the characteristics of the hole. They executed an experiment where they dropped an ice-filled bucket from a height of 1,000 feet to analyze the results between this ice and the ice which remained at ground level. The bucket returned with ice from below, which had turned into dry, salt-like chunks that replaced the original solid ice. The unknown substance, which scientists attempted to burn through fire experiments, remained burning for 6 months because it possessed greater endurance than typical substances. The research team conducted multiple experiments because they observed strange ice behavior when they dropped different ice amounts into the hole. At times, the ice melted through standard processes, while at other times it became the type of ice which burns indefinitely. The researchers faced confusion because the ice melting patterns created unpredictable results, which made them believe the hole operated on its own energy system. The scientists who studied this mystery proposed that the hole linked to forces which existed beyond established scientific knowledge because they suspected it might be supernatural or extraterrestrial phenomena. The team demonstrated extreme caution when scientists discussed the possibility of using living creatures for research inside the abyss. The team decided to lower a sheep inside a box into the hole, attempting to track the effects of the hole's strange influence on life. The sheep showed hesitation before entering the area because it could sense danger, which acted as a natural alarm system that mirrored Mel's dog's earlier alarm. The scientists left the sheep down for 30 minutes before they retrieved the box, which revealed to them that the animal had died while undergoing unexplained changes. The autopsy results from the sheep revealed additional disturbing findings. The internal body structure presented a cooked appearance, while a massive tumor occupied almost all internal space and moved by itself. The surgical procedure on the tumor revealed a strange entity, which looked like a baby seal, but had human-like eyes and an umbilical cord attachment. The Basque people found the hybrid creature to be both fascinating and unsettling because it combined natural elements with surreal components, which created a new reality that combined actual biological entities with mythical beings. Mel's life was transformed, just as his understanding had deepened, leaving a legacy that was no longer just about a hole, but about crossing thresholds into worlds unseen. Spiritual and paranormal phenomena. The narratives surrounding Mel's hole extend far beyond physical measurements and military intrigue, delving deep into spiritual and paranormal territory.
There's nothing better than a deep hole. I mean, it's just one of those neat things that just perks the imagination, a bottomless hole.
Locals and researchers have reported an array of experiences that suggest the hole harbors more than just geological mystery. From strange communications to miraculous healing, these accounts widen the enigma, entwining it with unexplained forces and ethereal entities. One of the most extraordinary claims involves the seal-like creature recovered from the Nevada hole. According to the Basque people, this creature was not merely an odd biological anomaly, but a spiritual messenger or guardian. They believed it communicated through a series of beeps and clicks transmitted over radios, forming messages that warned of the burning ice's dangers and other hidden perils connected to the hole. The idea of an intelligent, non-human entity reaching out in cryptic signals challenged conventional understandings of communication and consciousness. The burning ice itself became a source of uncanny and hazardous phenomena. When brought into cabins for heat, this bizarre ice consumed moisture from the air, causing extreme dryness and discomfort to inhabitants. Boiling water near the fire resulted in steam being inexplicably sucked into the flames, defying normal physics. In one unsettling incident, a wood stove heated by the burning ice fell through the cabin floor, indicating physical destabilization linked directly to the hole's influence. Not long after, entire structures near the burning ice deteriorated rapidly, crumbling into dust. When returning, residents found the stove sunk several feet below the original ground level, a miniature echo of the endless pits that sparked these investigations. These occurrences suggested that the hole's mysterious energies extended far beyond the opening itself, capable of altering the very fabric of the environment and matter. Such tangible consequences grounded the paranormal claims in disturbing reality. Birds with bright, almost unnatural colors began frequently appearing around the hole, unaffected by human attempts to scare them away or harm them. The Basque people interpreted these birds as spiritual emissaries, symbols of assurance or warnings from the strange energy tying the hole's phenomena together. Their persistent presence contributed to an atmosphere heavy with symbolism and unseen forces at play. People who experienced the hole's effects also recounted sudden and unexplained healing, similar to Mel's own cancer recovery. These claims drew the hole into the realm of mystical cures and otherworldly intervention. Skeptics often dismissed such anecdotes, but those involved felt a profound connection that transcended empirical evidence, blending faith and experience. The strange energies and spiritual signals from Mel's hole challenged the line between science and the supernatural, inviting us to reconsider what might lie hidden beneath the surface of our known world. The unsolved enigma and lasting legacy. People still find Mel's Hole to be an enduring mystery which has existed since modern times.
On the Mel's Hole site, lately, there's been a lot of people trying to debunk it.
The search efforts remain unresolved because researchers have not located any confirmed site or documented evidence. The satellite images used to show a blacked-out square, which sat near the alleged location, but the subsequent satellite images showed no signs of anything extraordinary. The explorers reported discovering a 9-foot-wide stone-lined hole, but their discovery turned out to be an ordinary well that allowed users to see its interior. Mel Waters himself became part of the mystery. His name exists as a pseudonym because no public documents exist which verify his presence in the Ellensburg region. Mel refused to provide any recordings because Art Bell requested him to show both photographs and videos during his Coast to Coast AM appearances. Mel's excuses created suspicions about him, yet he never attempted to earn money from his tale, which caused some listeners to think he was being honest about his story. The concept of a bottomless pit creates conflicts with geological science, yet this has strengthened the legend's existence. Some people view it as a gateway, while others see it as a traditional story which developed from human fears and hidden knowledge and their imagination. In 2017, explorers returned to the search with cameras, lights, and online coordinates. The team discovered a dark void which they used to throw rocks because they wanted to determine whether anything existed at the bottom. The team left the area because they experienced a feeling of being observed, which made them feel uncomfortable. The legend of Mel's Hole endures because it presents a single question which people find to be disturbing about what hidden things exist under the Washington wilderness. Mel's Hole stands as a fascinating blend of mystery, fear, and wonder, an enigma that has captivated and confounded for decades. Whether real or imagined, the story reminds us how the unknown continues to inspire human curiosity. If you enjoyed delving into this incredible tale, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more stories that explore the curious and unexplained.